Hello, everyone, and welcome to part 2 of this week's Look Finance SEQFC Preview Show with thanks to our friends at Village Law. I'm Darren Lutton, and this is the Gold Coast Show, one of the most popular shows that we've got going. So we thought we'd step up the ante this week, and we've brought in the big guns. We've got Mark Madge. Mark, welcome again.
Thanks, Darren. How are you? All good?
Good. Mark's, of course, works at Football Gold Coast. We've got Brett Budwee, the coach of Palm Beach. Brett, welcome.
Thanks, Darren. Good to be back.
Good stuff. And our special guest this week is the coach, not the coach, player at the Coomera Colts. It's the slippery fish himself, Henrique. Henrique, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Darren. Good to be here.
Excellent. Thank you. So let's quickly have a chat to you first. So you've gone from Brisbane Roar to the Coomera Colts. How did that all come about?
I didn't went straight away from Brisbane to Coomera. So I went a little bit to futsal, and then I was quite unsure what to do. I was looking to a new project, just finishing my professional career. So I was looking elsewhere what to do. And then Coomera showed me a really good project to now in future. I look at, talk to my family, and I decided, I think that's the place to be to make my next move.
All right. So you're the technical director there. So tell us about your week. What do you get up to?
So look, I oversee everything at the club. So everything football related, it's with me. Try to change a few things, like as a football community. So it's not everyone involved at the club that have a football background. So my role pretty much involves like changing the culture, overseeing the coach the coaches. And also I do have a team that I coach, which my under 13. So it's very busy. I need to be at the club pretty much 7 days a week, but it's something that I really love to do. So I think that's time for me to give back what Australia really gave to me. So yes, I'm loving what I'm doing right now.
And tell us about the Gold Coast League. Are you? I noticed that in the stats you're pretty much top of the goal scoring and the assists charts. So you must be enjoying yourself, hamstring aside.
Oh yeah, my first experience playing outside a professional league. To be honest with you, I was very surprised. The quality, the players are really good. So I really think that there are players that are capable of playing NPL competition. And as I say, football, it's football anywhere. People have this mentality of playing professional, things like that. It's just a matter of opportunities. And that's what I'm trying to pass it on to my juniors, to players that play alongside me. Football is football anywhere. So it's a ball, 11 players, and it's just a matter of you working hard enough to get your opportunity.
Sure thing. All right, now let's have a look at last weekend's results. You, of course, took on Burleigh Heads, they're on fire at the moment. That's 3 in a row now for them. So you went down 3-2. Tell us about the game.
Oh yeah, I think the game was very even. We conceded in the first half a goal through a set piece, and then halftime finished 1-0 down to us. We came back in the second half, and then we started a little bit slow. The second half, they got on top of us, scored another 2 goals. But towards the end, we picked it up. We made a few changes, and we scored 2 goals. But it wasn't enough at the end, so we lost 3-2. But this week, back on the ground, work really hard, and see what we can do on the weekend.
Sure thing. And Brett, you had a comfortable 4-0 win over Southport.
Ended up that way. The keeper got sent off pretty early, which sort of helped us. Bit of a controversial decision. But like I said in the post-match interview, I thought we were pretty much on top at that stage and we were going to run out winners anyway. But Southport beat us last round, so we couldn't take nothing for granted.
And Mark, take us through the other two results. So Surfers Paradise had a 4-1 win over Nerang and Robina 1-0 over Broadbeach.
Yeah, the Surfers game, although the scoreline seems 4-1, you think it was an easy day in the office, but it wasn't. In the 77th minute of the game, it was locked at 1-1. So obviously Surfers, they were missing Teddy Watson, obviously one of the best strikers in the league, equal top scorer at the top there and leading the league in assists. Massive loss for them, every year. MVP candidate, but they still recovered well. They've had a couple of performances from some squad players that, if you want to win something, and I'm sure Brett and Henrique can both tell you, there's certain games throughout the season that players just step up that you'd least expect it. And they had that in Justin Barwick, their centre-back, and Alex Matsura, who came in midfield. But Nerang, gave them absolutely everything. That they've been in a good patch at the moment. New players coming in. They played against Coomera obviously last week and had a fantastic first half. Had some opportunities there, but at the 77th minute, the game was panning out to be a draw, and it took again a set piece, a lapse in concentration for 1 second from the rain, and Surfers scored, and then pretty much 4 minutes later scored back-to-back goals, and the game is done. So you look at that 4-1 and say, oh yeah, Surfers kicking into gear, but in reality, they finished the game fantastic. Probably started the game the same way they finished. Had a lot of opportunities, but in our league, if you don't take opportunities, you're not going to win games. But with massive 3 points for them there, and then Broadbeach, obviously Robina winning 1-0 there in the evening, late kickoff. It was one of those games. It wasn't a lot of attacking threat. Broadbeach have been fantastic defensively, as I keep talking about week in, week out. They don't concede a lot of goals, have good defensive shape. But they struggle in front of goal. That's one thing Andy Robinson keeps talking about, their coach, every week. We can't get goals. Goals change games and changes momentum. If they were going 1-0 up, 2-0 up in games, I'm sure they will manage it and run it out before 90 minutes and win games. It's just when they concede first and always through some, they conceded a 35-metre goal. Really a good hit by Lockie Roos, fantastic player. But again, every other day they'll probably, just be off cue a little bit, or the keeper would hit him straight away. It hit that perfect inside of the corner and got Robina the points. They had Brandon Reeves come in, an NPL player named Gold Coast United. But, a couple, not really that threatening for the full 90 minutes, I thought. I thought Broadbeach did well to shut down their better players. A big change for Robina, obviously, was their keeper. They signed a keeper, a French keeper who's come to the Gold Coast. And he looked fantastic. I think Brett was at the game as well, and I think he can probably say as well, he looked really good. He gave him that confidence at the back, the keeper-sweeper style, Manuel Neuer type of keeper, that you feel confident knowing that he's behind you. And that confidence breathes throughout the whole team and got them the 3 points at the end of the day. It leaves Broadbeach in a bit of a hole now. They're going to need to get, if currently Southport is sitting on 8 points, they're 3, so 2 wins. And Southport lose all their games, that they might have a chance to stay above the top, the bottom spot, the playoff spot. But I think their focus will now start to turn to getting good performances in, seeing what they can do, and hopefully building into a strong end of season. Mark,
that keeper trialled at every club on the Gold Coast. I think Henrique probably told you went up to Coomera as well. He wasn't bad. He trained with me. He wasn't a bad keeper. He definitely makes a difference for them.
Oh, yeah.
And so does Brendan Reeves. He gives them a lot more speed up front. Broadbeach, I think if they had a quick guy that could play next to that Dava there up front, they'd be a lot more dangerous, because he's actually a pretty good player, holds the ball up well.
And can hit him.
But yeah, I think they just lack anything behind. They've got no speed to get you in behind, so that's where they're lacking at the moment. But it was a pretty good game, I thought, the Robina one.
So looking at the ladder, Brett, your side is, of course, on top by 1 point over Surfers Paradise. Henrique, it's all still in your hands. If you can win every game here out, the league will be yours. You're 5 points back, which brings us to this weekend's matches. Surfers Paradise, who are they playing? They've got, actually, let's come back to them. Let's focus on Coomera and Palm Beach. We've got the two coaches here.
Two coaches, one player.
Two players. Oh, I'm always getting this wrong. Technical director. Technical director.
I'm hoping Henrique will be coaching on the weekends. So.
Yeah, no, still. When I'm here, I'm the player for the senior side. I'm not the technical director here now, so I'm the player for the senior side. So, yeah. Look, I keep saying to the boys, look, instead of concentrating on the result, let's concentrate on our performance. I'm pretty sure if we have a good performance on the day, if we do everything that we practice during the week, the result will take care of itself. That's what I concentrate on the most. So I try to do everything that I practice during the week. The fine tune will be like on Thursday, which is tonight. So things that we think that we still need to work on a little bit, but it's mainly focused on the performance on the day. If you focus on the result, you try to get away from things that you should be doing and concentrate on the things that you can't control. Result, it's going to be in your favor if you're doing the right things at the end of the 90 minutes. And that's what I'm trying to pass it on. Concentrate on the performance base and the result to take care of itself.
Yeah, look, we think it's going to be a tough game up there, Darren, at 7 o'clock kickoff. I think they've got the women's game before as well, so there's going to be a big Coomera crowd. So hopefully we can get a bus up from Palm Beach with all the Palmy spectators. I watched the Narang Coomera game. I think that was the 7 o'clock kickoff. It was quite a good atmosphere up there. So we're looking forward to the game.
I saw a Facebook post during the week about your support. What sort of numbers do you guys get to games?
Mark could probably tell you more because I can't really see what's behind me. But I tell you, in the game that we played in Narang, it was the first time in my coaching career where I couldn't communicate with my players on the field. They couldn't hear anything I was saying. The Palmy chant was that loud that I couldn't actually communicate. And, a lot of that's down to we've got a guy who runs the juniors corporation, Clint Woodward, and he organises different teams each week to come down and walk out with the boys and get the parents down and get everyone down. So it's a good atmosphere. In that video the other night where the juniors walked in with the trophy they'd won, that was one of the best things I've ever seen in club football, to tell you the truth. I was getting an interview with Mark at the time, so I missed it.
Both Coomera and Palm Beach, obviously good bases for supporters. Palm Beach especially, I'd say they definitely have at least 100, 120 people that travel as well. So they have this core group. There's some voices that you hear every single Palmy game, screeching and shrieking around. So and Coomera obviously done a fantastic job, obviously with the numbers that they have to get that integration with the juniors, to coming to games and all the rest of it. So that's what's, the game's important, all the rest of it, but that interaction with the community and being, important in that aspect, sometimes takes, as Brett said, some things like that, even those 3 points is fantastic for him and they're pushing for a title. Having those kids come in with a trophy, smiling faces, and having the integration is what you remember, out of a season. And I'm sure when I was a kid as well, with senior setups and all the rest of it, we used to love that sort of stuff. So I can only imagine what it's like for those Palm Beach and Coomera kids overall. So it's definitely fantastic. Expecting a big crowd up there at Viney Park.
Mark, the last time we played Coomera, the boys on the hill heckled Henrique for the last 45 minutes, and then they went and got a selfie with him after the game. Yeah.
And as I say, that's fantastic. I don't mind that as long as the respect is still there. Yeah, that's fine. You can share, you can do whatever you think that's necessary to do to take the opposition players off with the respect. And at the end, everybody's together. Yeah, taking self. That's football. And I expect that on Saturday night. So I expect a big crowd in our favor. So, they're helping us out and trying to take the players from Palmy out. And that's what I expect from them.
Henrique, just quickly, in the A-League, was there a particular team that you hated travelling to because of the fans?
Not really, to be honest. I don't mind. I can't say like Western Sydney Wanderers because The old stadium was a bit too close, in my opinion. So, and they are a little bit vocal. But as I say, they are in the stands, so they can't do anything. They can't interfere in the game. So it's up to the players. Obviously, sometimes they can say some things that it's not nice. But as I say, it's all part of football. So you get used to it and you get on with. That's it.
Very good. All right, so let's have it quickly flick back to the other games this weekend. 3 o'clock at Ashmore Village Park. Southport are taking on Robina. Mark, what are your thoughts on that one?
An important game for both. Southport obviously had 2 red cards in that Palm Beach game as well. Their keeper and their left back getting a double yellow, so they'll be a bit short-staffed. They got Morgan, played 70 minutes against Brett Morgan-Saunders, so he'll be backing up, hopefully get a bit more fitness behind him. And Robina on that height. It'll be an interesting matchup. I think, that this is, for Robina, both these sides need 3 points. 3 points here for Robina puts them a little bit in that mix, pending other results. Same as Southport. A lack of 3 points might, put a bit of pressure down the bottom of the table there come the later stages in the round if, results go their way. So it'll be tight. It'll be interesting to see what both sides can do at the end of the day. I think Robina will fancy themselves in this one just because of those signings, a bit of confidence they have from the win. But Southport, obviously, Rob will be back on the bench, which will be a bit of a bonus for them this week. And I'm sure at home they'll fancy themselves against anyone.
And at 5 p.m, we've got Burleigh Heads up against Nerang. Can Burleigh continue their run?
This is probably the second biggest match of the week, following obviously Palm Beach and Coomera. There's only 4 to choose from, so it's about halfway anyway. Burleigh at Burleigh now. I think they lost Yuto, one of their homies, one of the Japanese boys, who especially in the last 2 weeks has been fantastic, and last year was amazing for the whole year. He's not there anymore, but the inclusion of Dave Much coming back and helping them out in their squad will help, especially with what they're going to come up against Nerang. Watching Nerang last week, they have a team that's capable of beating you on the ground, but they also have a team that in the air can beat you as well. The 2 boys in the middle, Adam Powell and Seb Robberman, they're tall, they're big, they're strong. They can win when their headers flick it on. That second ball is where they've won countless of trophies over the years, those players, and that can be the same thing what they can do against Burleigh. I think Burleigh, overall, if they win this game, I think they can pretty confidently sit there and anticipate to make the top 4. This is going to be the most crucial game for them. If they drop the points here and Nerang get 3 points, then they're in for a right scrap towards the end of the year. I don't think, every side is capable of beating everyone. We keep saying that each and every week, but a side that's desperate for a win to qualify for a finals or survive relegation is sometimes harder to play than a side that's, sitting in the top 4 comfortably, but can't really push on or whatever else. So, it'll be a great game. This was supposed to be the Sunday game. It got moved to the Saturday for reasons out of everyone's control, and it'll be interesting to see what happens there. So I'm expecting a decent hard-fought game there.
Any Burleigh fans watching this show, be sure to tune in next week. We've got Matt Hilton, who's going to be joining us as a special guest. Mm-hmm. The other match is Broadbeach United up against Surfers Paradise at 6 p.m.
Yeah, another interesting one. Although Surfers will getting Teddy Watson back and Bruno Rodriguez back from suspension, they'll be confident going into this game, obviously. But I think Broadbeach at home is a different animal. Brett obviously saw it on a Sunday afternoon, which is usually the hardest fixture to play on a Sunday to get people up for it. Broady at night at Broadbeach will be extremely difficult, especially if they can defend. The longer Surface leave to score a goal or whatever else to push on and get on top of the game, the harder it's going to get. Especially, Surface have a knack of conceding a goal here and there. If they go down 1, it might be a difficult afternoon and difficult evening in the office. I expect Surface to come away with 3 points. I think everyone would agree they would be considerable favourites. But, if Broadbeach can muster together 90 minutes and get a sniff in front of goal, take their opportunities and defend well, could be in for an interesting evening. I'm sure Palm Beach and Coomera both be cheering on the draw, as every coach does in our league. Games involved. So, I think Brett said it last week. He's looking at that game against Surface. Surface is a pinpoint, but hopefully for his sake, he can go into that game with a bit of a lead and not have to stress too much on it. But I guess this week we'll see what happens after all.
Let's quickly have a look at the Coast League, and two things stuck out to me from this weekend. Mudgeeraba, they've won again, and Musgrave are now on top of the table.
Yeah, Musgrave obviously played an extra game to Kingscliff, so they've gone to top. They will need Bond to win every game 7-0, and for them not to pick up for them to lose every game 7-0, and Bond to win all their games for them to go out in goal difference. So it's pretty much set that the top two, Musgrave, Kingscliff, will be coming up. But that third place now is the interesting one. Obviously, Tweed's currently occupying it, but they played an extra game. They might have to wait till the last week of the season when they have the bye to see what their situation is. Bond there have got to play Mudgeeraba, Pack Pines, Runaway Bay, and Kingscliff. 3 out of the 4 games, they'll fancy themselves. Beating Tweed on Friday gave them that opportunity. And again, it's funny because Bond is one of those teams that at the start of the year we always wonder if they're going to be in the comp or they're not going to be in the competition, and now they could be in line for a playoff spot to the Premier League. But they all could be. Mudgeeraba is there. Obviously, goal difference might pip them at the end of the post unless they win all their games. If they equal the early defeats, heavy defeats at the start of the season might come back to bite them. But again, I couldn't tip. I'd probably just say Tweed because they've played Musgrave and Kingscliff already, and now they'll find a bit of form, hopefully for the back end of the season and manage to get the wins that they're looking for. But I wouldn't be surprised if anyone occupies that third spot. So, look, I think having Kingscliff and Musgrave come into our competition, not officially, but I'll talk like they are, is a great addition for our competition, as would any of those clubs down there. So we're happy to see those two come up and strengthen that Premier League. Our 8 have been fantastic this year. It's the best 8 I've seen. Probably only closest competition would be 2014, when Burleigh and Knights both got relegated on 18 points in a 21 game season. So this will be the closest we have that. Although the points may not show that, the level of competition and the strength of the teams, you have top versus bottom. It's only a 1-0 game. So that's the promising sign. So I've said it before. I don't think 8th will lose to 3rd in a two-leg playoff. I'll be surprised. But again, it's football. Anything can happen.
Before we get predictions for this Palm Beach Coomera game, the NPL match this weekend is the Gold Coast Derby, Gold Coast United up against the Knights. Is there any interest from you guys in that match?
Yeah, from me there is. I'm a bit disappointed actually that they've got no game on a Sunday down here on the Gold Coast. Why they couldn't have moved the NPL game to the Sunday? I think that's what they done last year, didn't they, Mark?
Yeah.
It just seems none of us can go watch the game, and all our supporters can't go watch that game either. So it seems a bit of a strange one, that.
So it's been scheduled at the same time?
Yeah.
6:30 for a Saturday.
Right.
Nightmare.
What about you, Henrique? Does that match take any significance for you?
Look, yeah, if I had nothing to do on a Saturday night, so I'll probably go as well and watch the game. So as Brett already mentioned, so should be moved again to Sunday. Would be ideally for everyone. You know what I mean? Like, so, and I think they have to promote more Gold Coast teams and thinking about the region. So it's not about just NPL and Gold Coast Premier League. So it's about the region. So if they can't afford to go to one match because they have to go to the other one, it's not ideally. So one or the other could be moved to either day. So yeah, unfortunately it is what it is. So yeah.
All right. So Mark, this match, who's going to win?
Draw. Politicians. I'm going to say I'm a politician and say draw, but I won't tell you what I tipped in our tipping comp in the office. But yeah, I'll go with draw. I'll give it, if I had to pick a winner, if it was draw no bet, I'd have to say Palm Beach. And the only reason I'm going to go Palm Beach is maybe Henrique's playing, maybe he's not. He won't tell us, but that's all right. So 50-50 there. And again, I know there's some injury clouds around some other players at Coomera trying to get back into the full swing of things. And Palm Beach just keep rolling on and keep playing well. So, I think they had some of their best performances from some of their other players that don't really get mentioned as much from the rest of the league last week. I think it's fair to say with that, Brett, all of a sudden, they have a player like Josh Squires, who has come off the bench in the past for Brett and all the rest of it. He's now their leading goal scorer for their team and fourth or fifth in top scoring in the league. So it just shows you that these players are starting to creep up again to form. Tom Miller, again, another one, went to NPL system, but back with Brett, starting to create much more and opening up. So I think they might get that momentum and keep rolling on. But again, it'll be a slight edge to Palm Beach in this one.
Brett, if you're going to win this game, what needs to go right for you?
Mate, we need to be smart. Coomera are an experienced football team. They the first few years we played them, they wound us up a little bit, and we sort of bought into it. But we're a much smarter team now. But we have to do the little things right, get our set pieces right, and don't make mistakes. Last time we're up there, the first goal we gave them, our goalkeeper kicked it in. So we can't have little things like that happen. But we've been pretty good all year in that respect. So like I said before, I'm really looking forward to the game. I enjoy playing the top teams. The boys do as well. And we class Coomera as one of the top teams, obviously. So,
and Henrique, I hope you're still with us there. My screen's frozen. You are? Oh, there you are. Yes. So, what do you think has to go right for you guys to win?
We need to go back doing the basics right. So, in the last few weeks, we have been doing the often. So, we definitely need to get back on track. So, we definitely need keep the hope alive, but most important thing, as I say, we need to get the basics right, do the things that we have been doing in the past weeks, knowing that it's going to be a very difficult game against a very good side, Pound side. So we definitely more than ever need to do all the things that we have been doing in the past.
All right. Excellent. Well, good luck to both of you. It's should be a fascinating Saturday night and checking all the results as they come in. Mark, thank you for your participation again this week.
Never a problem. All good.
Good stuff. And Brett, you keeping up with those NBA finals?
Yeah, mate, on top of it. No games today, was there?
No games.
No games.
Henrique, thank you so much for joining us this week. It's been a pleasure to have you on board.
Thanks, Darren. It was a pleasure to be here. Anytime you need us, just give me a call.
Hope that hamstring comes good for this weekend.
We'll see.
All right. Thank you all. And we'll be back next week with another episode. Don't forget, Matt Hilton will be with us.
Thank you.